Good evening, I'm Rodney Dunigan. We're following a number of developing stories tonight, including fresh information in connection with the shooting of two Mifflin Township police officers. Tonight, we're digging deeper into the past legal history of Devontae Dixon, the man arrested in connection with that shooting. We're also getting insight on the woman arrested accused of helping him to hide out from investigators. Also tonight, we're learning the man accused of shooting at two Marysville police had a string of incidents involving officers. We've got insight into his history of trouble.
Well, the temperatures are about to feel like midsummer, and we're also dealing with some of that wildfire smoke. We'll walk through how all of that's likely to affect your work week coming up.
June is here, so that means it's officially Pride Month, and events are already kicking off right here in the city of Columbus. We're breaking down some of the excitement. Those stories and breaking news as it happens right now on Good Evening Columbus.
Good Evening Columbus on ABC6 starts now.
For those who choose to use violence against one of our law enforcement family, know this: we will not stop until you are apprehended and brought to justice.
Tonight, a strong message of unity coming from law enforcement after the arrest of the man charged after shooting two Mifflin Township police officers. Devontae Dixon was arrested Friday night in Obetz. Police say he fired at officers before turning that gun on himself. Dixon continues to recover tonight at Grant Medical Center. He's charged with attempted murder and felony assault. He will be locked up as soon as he's released from the hospital. Tonight, investigators say help from the community led to that arrest. Aaron Simonek has the very latest.
Aaron Simonek, ABC6 News.
And the woman charged with helping Dixon to hide out from police was in court this morning. Bond for Jayla Call was set at $250,000. She's been charged with obstruction and tampering, according to court records. She told detectives that she knew Dixon was a fugitive and that he was only in her home for several hours before deputies arrived. She also admitted to deleting text messages from her phone that were between Dixon and his girlfriend. Now, of course, we streamed the entire news conference with investigators bringing you all those new details. You can still watch it on the ABC6 YouTube channel. Tonight, we're learning that the man accused of firing shots at Marysville police officers has had a number of run-ins with police going back more than a year. Court records indicate that he has a history of fights, mental health concerns, and neighborhood disputes. Right now, he's recovering in the hospital after a Union County deputy shot him. Mike McCarthy spent the day gathering information about his past. On new tonight, Kent State University plans to close several identity-based campus centers. The Division of Student Life says effective June 27th, the university will close its LGBTQ+ Center, Women's Center, and the Student Multicultural Center. The LGBTQ Resource Center on the Stark campus will also cease operations. The letter says the closures are part of the university's efforts to comply with Ohio Senate Bill 1 and recent federal executive orders. Happening tonight, the City of Columbus will kick off the start of Pride Month tonight at City Hall. The events will start tonight with an award ceremony named in honor of an activist who have demonstrated leadership in promoting LGBTQ+ rights across the city. City leaders will also light up City Hall in rainbow colors at 8 tonight. And developing this evening, the National Weather Service has gotten the okay to hire new meteorologists, all after a federal hiring freeze. Earlier this year, they lost more than 500 workers due to layoffs and early retirement packages. The current shortfall in workers reduces the number of working hours for weather forecast offices. The additional staffing is expected to help that agency to boost the number of information gathering weather balloon launches. All right, turning back to the forecast, Chief Meteorologist Marshall McPeak here, tracking things for us. It has been a beautiful day across the city.
Gorgeous.
All right, thank you, sir. Still to come tonight, a warning about a new scam that's coming right to your front doorstep. Ahead, why if you get a package that you did not order, you may want to toss it out. And a major warning tonight for parents, the latest way that teens are getting high and why this chemical is far from a laughing matter. Across the state tonight, a dangerous trend is growing among kids. Teens getting their hands on laughing gas to get high. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at those dangers and what parents need to be on the lookout for. All right, Taco Week is officially underway across the city of Columbus. This is a look at the event's website here. You can enjoy taco specials and dishes at restaurants all over town. Some restaurants are offering specials as low as $4. You will also be able to enjoy some of those custom cocktails. Now, Taco Week is also working to support Feed the Kids Columbus. We've posted the entire list of restaurants on our website. That's abc6onyourside.com. A scam alert for you tonight. A number of people are getting packages that they did not order from companies like Amazon. All of it is a part of the latest scam to rip you off. Casey Arsenault has the full story. Tonight, the Ohio BCI is investigating yet another police shooting, this time in Marysville. It all started as a domestic situation and eventually ended after a short chase along US 33. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Rodney Dunigan. Jessica has the night off. One Marysville police officer was hurt in that initial shooting at that home. Thankfully, they are expected to be okay. Aaron Simonek has the very latest on this investigation. Girlfriend. And of course, it has been a painful week for local law enforcement. On Memorial Day, a Monroe County deputy was shot and killed responding to a domestic violence situation. And right now, that community is covered in blue ribbons and flags honoring the life and legacy of that deputy who gave the ultimate sacrifice in service to his community. A vigil was held just last night where hundreds came out to show their support. Funeral services are set for next week. And the suspect accused in that shooting and killing of the deputy is still recovering at the hospital tonight. This man right here, he's been charged with aggravated murder. Tonight, there's still no word on when he will be released. Then on Wednesday night, 2 Mifflin Township police officers were shot following a traffic stop. Investigators say the officers pulled a driver over, and that's when the passenger jumped out and ran away. That man can be seen on camera raising his gun and shooting both officers. We're told one officer was released from the hospital yesterday. The other has undergone a number of surgeries and has a long road to recovery. And that suspect, 21-year-old Devontae Dixon, is still on the run tonight. He's charged with attempted murder and assault. A $40,000 reward is being offered for any information that leads to an arrest in this case. And of course, as this search moves forward, we're also looking into the training that officers get to deal with these situations. They are very often very tense and can change in an instant. We spoke with an expert on what it takes to make those split-second decisions.
Good, proper training that meets several different criteria. It has to be recent, it has to be realistic, and it has to be repetitive or repeated on a regular basis. They call that the 4 R's of training.
Kevin Davis says that it's up to local police departments to invest in quality training to ensure that officers are ready for any situation. And this has certainly been a tough week for local law enforcement. Experts say domestic violence calls can be some of the most dangerous situations that officers see.
Domestic calls are some of the most dangerous things that we do, as well as traffic stops. So we have to do just continue to do training and to continue to train, and but they're out there, they're putting their lives on the line every day.
The nonprofit First Responders Bridge puts together retreats for those surrounded by tragedy. For more information, you can head to our website, abc6onyourside.com. And of course, we are tracking the very latest on all 3 of these police shootings. For up-to-date information, get the ABC6 app. Just search WSYX ABC6 in your app store. And tonight we're also tracking a deadly fire. This all happened early this morning in Mifflin Township. Take a look at this video. This all happened on Ballman Avenue. Investigators say the fire started on the first floor and it spread within minutes. 2 men were inside that home at the time. One died. The other was able to make it out. He is expected to be okay. Neighbors say the 2 were brothers. They also say this is yet another tragedy for this small, tight-knit community.
I was upstairs and I heard somebody screaming, "House is on fire." It's hard. And then of course with what happened a couple of days ago over at Purdue and Mecca, and that's just heartbreaking, and I can't believe it. It's just like a big fog.
And of course, she's talking about the shooting of those 2 Mifflin Township police officers. The fire happened less than 48 hours after that shooting. The cause of the fire is still under investigation tonight. All right, turning to the forecast now, let's take a live look over a wet city of Columbus tonight. It has been cool and wet across the area today, but the good news, warmer weather is on the way. Chief Meteorologist Marshall McPeak tracking things for us tonight. And should I say summer-like conditions on the way. Developing tonight, the mother charged in connection with the death of Madison Baby Doe was back in court today. Her attorneys are trying to move the case just a bit further down the road. Now, you may remember that newborn baby was found in the trash in Plain City back in 2023. The baby's mother was arrested last month after DNA evidence connected her to the crime. Investigators say she was staying at a relative's home where she delivered that baby and left the baby girl in a trash can. She's charged with gross abuse of a corpse, which is a 5th-degree felony. Her trial is set for October. Still to come tonight, it was a rainy day for round 2 of the Memorial Tournament, and that led to a few changes on the leaderboard. And after years of ensuring students safely cross the street, a Hilliard crossing guard is hanging up his stop sign. We've got the emotional goodbye as he looks on to retirement.
Well, now that...
All right, my favorite story of the day. After more than a decade on the job, a Hilliard grandfather is officially turning in his stop sign. For years, he's protected the kids at Avery Elementary School, but he is finally ready to retire. And one thing's for sure, he will certainly be missed. Terry Sullivan has the full story. All right, it has been a very wet day 2 at the Memorial Tournament, and the rough weather could be having a bit of an impact on the leaderboard. Sports director Dave Holmes live in Dublin for us tonight to break it all down. What do you say, Dave?
On your side.
All right, this is true. Thanks a lot, Dave. And be sure to stick with us all weekend long. Dave Holmes and Kellyanne Stitz will be tracking all of the action from Dublin at the Memorial.
6 News at 6 on your side starts now.
It's devastation. It is. I couldn't imagine the family, what they're going through. It's heartbreaking.
Happening right now, a tight-knit community is gathering to say goodbye to a young deputy who died in the line of duty. The visitation services are being held for Deputy Daniel Shear today. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Rodney Dunigan.
I'm Jessica Ralston. A somber day as hundreds showed up to honor the deputy who gave the ultimate sacrifice to his community. On the left side of your screen here, you can see a small procession of police cruisers carrying the casket from the funeral home in Mount Gilead to Northmore High School. On the right, the casket arriving at the school with deputies removing it from the hearse and escorting it through the high school doors.
Kirsten Lindquist is live in Merle County tonight. And Kirsten, it has certainly been an emotional day for many people in that community.
The community remembers the deputy. The man accused of shooting and killing him was in court today.
Brian Wilson appeared in front of a judge by video. For now, he's facing just one charge of aggravated murder. Depending on what a Merle County grand jury decides, he could face charges that could lead to the death penalty if convicted. Wilson was shot in the leg during the shootout with the deputy. He spent nearly a week in the hospital. Tonight, he's in the Delaware County Jail. County prosecutor Andrew Wick says he knew the deputy and recalls hearing the news about his death.
It was shock, and unfortunately, there was still some hope, very brief, but when I was told on scene that he had passed, obviously, you have a little bit of a stop moment, and you got to stay professional and do your job.
Wilson's bond was set at $5 million. We've learned that he has a history of legal issues, including past problems with domestic violence. And tonight, we're also getting a look at a CPD crash as officers were rushing to the scene of a shooting involving 2 Mifflin Township police officers. This all happened last Wednesday afternoon, right after that call came in that an officer was down.
Now, right before the crash, you could hear officers relaying the medical equipment. Victim emerging in a Central Ohio sex abuse case that could lock up a former megachurch leader for life. Prosecutors now say Gary Cassie targeted 4 victims over an 11-year span.
The 32 charges against him now include 13 counts of rape. On your side, investigator Lisa Rontala spoke with his defense team. They say they're not sure if they will be ready for that trial next month.
Big Lots making an even bigger comeback. You might remember in May they reopened dozens of stores, and now dozens more set to reopen.
The company announced that more than 70 additional stores are set to open this coming Thursday. 17 of those stores are opening right here in the state of Ohio. None will be here in the city of Columbus, though, but Akron, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Canton will be getting one.
Now, you're going to remember that Big Lots filed for bankruptcy last year, and they closed dozens of stores. Variety wholesalers acquired many of the chain stores late last year. Coming up, Ohio's auditor of state, the state auditor making government employees pay out of their own pockets.
All of it after millions were given away to cyber scammers. The major warning that you need to hear. Up next. All right, we're on your side tonight with a shocking story about a multi-million-dollar phishing scam. A local school district ripped off for millions.
But in a major twist, the employee who fell for the scam is now being required to repay that money. And it turns out this case could be a serious warning for all of us. David Winter takes a look.
Well, it's all about the bees at OSU. A new program focused on beekeeping is helping to give military veterans a new lease on life.
Tonight, we're looking a little deeper into this interesting program, which wants to have a positive impact in the lives of those looking to reconnect with their communities. Here's Sarah Converse.